Welcome to Bob Speaks. On this particular edition, I'm all seated because it's a serious conversation. Now, with swearing in of President Donald Trump as the new 47th President of the United States of America, there's been a whole lot of hula baloo, let me use that word, a whole lot of chaos in the political scene and of course social media as well. You all would think that he's the president of the world, not knowing that he's just the president of the United States of America. The latest trend has been him standing on his word during the campaign saying that he's going to deport, there's going to be massive deportation of immigrants from America. Now we're experiencing it already. Now there was this issue with deportation of Colombians, which were like the first set of deportees he sent out. The Colombian president denied them entrance into his airspace, prompting Donald Trump to sanction them and put up some fines against them. But upon seeing the fines, he turned back and said, no, we can't go through all this. I'm coming back to that gist. Now there's been a latest one hitting Nigeria at this point. The United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has identified nearly 2 million illegal immigrants for deportation within their next phase, which include Nigeria having the second highest number of citizens in Africa on that list. Yes. According to Fox News, 3,690 Nigerians are set to be deported back to Nigeria, surpassing only Somalia by 4,090. Ghana follows closely with 3,228 illegal immigrants, while Mexico tops the list with a staggering 252,044 persons penciled for deportation. So the US government has urged countries to cooperate in accepting the return of their nationals, emphasizing that lack of cooperation may lead ICE to classifying those countries as uncooperative or at risk of non-compliance. Citing what happened when Colombia denied the first batch of deported immigrants, as I said earlier, on landing in their country, Trump immediately ordered sanctions on their products, visa restrictions, increase in cost of agricultural businesses and transactions between Colombia and America, amongst other sanctions. This instinctively pressured the president into recalling the deported flights back to Colombia. So, is that to avoid trouble? He just said, bring them back, we'll take our people. Now, the question I have for the country is, are Nigerians ready for this responsibility? Are we ready to infuse the deportees back to our system, to our nation, to our country? Do we have a survival plan, a life plan for them when they are repatriated back into Nigeria? Are you comfortable in Nigeria already? I think it's time we start holding our government accountable, because the truth is, looking at Burkina Faso as we release the news on what Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso presently, don't you think we have more resources than they do? Don't you think Nigeria is really a blessed country that if our government look into our own resources and provide for ourselves, we're able to take care of our own citizens and not have them run away to the point they will be embarrassed and then we'll start bringing them back to our country? What are the measures put in place to ensure that they are infused easily into a working system? Already, the health sector was in chaos as of 3 days back, as Trump has also pulled out funds coming from America into WHO and every other place that supplies free medical drugs needed, especially in the area of HIV drugs for African countries, which Nigeria, unfortunately, tops that list as number 2 with the highest number of those with HIV drugs. So the question is, those antiretroviral drugs cannot be easily purchased by a regular citizen, a poor person, let me use that word. And now in Nigeria, you're either poor or you're rich. There's no middle class anymore. So the poor ones who have it cannot survive it. And the truth is, there's a level to which you take that drug, according to a Aproko doctor, that it suppresses it, that you're not even able to pass it to somebody else. But if you can't suppress it now and the drug is not available to you, my dear, a lot of people are going to be walking around with a whole lot of HIV, and HIV deteriorating for most of them into full-blown AIDS. So my question once again is, what happens when these people return back to Nigeria? Who is going to hold the government accountable? Who is going to hold our health system accountable? Who is going to hold those in various ministries and political posts appointed or voted in that are in charge of ensuring that we make the best of our natural resources, we make the best of what we have in this country? Who is going to make sure that we look within ourselves to make our own money, to take care of our own people, rather than sourcing for free amenities outside? Next week, I'll also be coming back with news of the probe going on in the Senate presently at the White House on the doctor that was among the team, the panelists that tested young African kids on the Jeff Kennedy, I think that's his name, Jeffrey Kennedy, that tested young African kids with drugs that actually made some of them have autism. He confirmed this. So how many of you are ready to put yourself out as scapegoats to be tested as animals because your government is not willing to provide the necessary things within your country? This and more is what Bob Speaks is here for. Let's talk. Let's talk. So if you want to come in, you want to contribute, you want to come to the studio, you want us to have a sit down and talk about topics and situations around Nigeria, let's start a revolution. Let's make things different. You can contact us at the Huff Media Studio, or I personally at official Bolanle Babs on Instagram and Bolanle Babs on TikTok, or Bob Speaks on TikTok and on YouTube. Bob Speaks NG, or the Huff Media Studio on YouTube. Thank you for watching this episode. Have a great day.